Did you see it?
I have, yeah.
Did you like it? That was pretty good, right? It's very sweet. What else have we seen in the last few months? Oh God, I'm very bad about remembering these
I
things.
meant like all-time.
Oh, all-time movies. Oh God, everything from The Godfather to Casablanca to Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, I've been a movie junkie since I was in college. You name it, we've seen it maybe more than once too.
Nice. What do you have coming up? Anything big coming up?
We have to go to Stockholm for 10 days in December. We're going to South America in a week. 4, I'm going to a meeting. Nadja, who is from Chile, I'm going to a meeting in Chile. And Nadja is going to get her sisters to help her buy clothes, get fitted for gowns for Stockholm, which has the women in my family in a tizzy, both my 2 daughters as well. What are they going to wear? So we're going to Chile and then on to San Francisco to spend Thanksgiving with the rest of our family, and then back here for a week before we head off for Stockholm. Then when we get back, December 15th, take a deep breath and try and relax and cruise into Christmas quietly after all this brouhaha. So and then I'm going to teach. I have to teach a course come January 15th or something, and then beginning of the next semester. So I'll be around trying to get back into normal life.
What is a question you would ask yourself? Like, what's something that I haven't covered that you...
What is a question I would ask myself? Let's see. So here's one for you. I did see that. Am I actually going to retire? And if so, when? Right? So that's a good question for me, or that I ask myself. And I don't know the answer to the question, right? Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just keep going until I don't wake up one morning. Who knows? So I like what I do, so it's fun, and I've never found anything quite as engaging enough to keep me busy full time. I like hobbies. I garden too, so that's another one I forgot. But the question is, it's just none of these things are as engaging enough to keep me occupied for full time, so I'll probably just still keep on working as long as I can, as long as I stay healthy and my brain's okay and I can get funding. I'll probably still do it, just like your grandfather, I bet.
Yeah.
Is your grandfather going to keep going?
He's going to work until he dies.
Till he what?
Till he drops.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like me.
All right, thank you so much.
I have one quick question, actually.
Sure.
Was there a moment, just like this is something I was wondering, was there a moment or a day or, I don't know, a minute, a lab that you guys did that you realized you had found something?
A eureka moment, it's called.
Yeah.
Was there a eureka moment? So there's one paper that we published in 1990 that was very important for all this, and we realized we had something really good when we saw the results for that paper and put it together, that we had a really good idea of how things worked. So the idea all the time we were working on this problem, the first 8 years, was how does it work? Really, what's the nature of the timekeeper? And so we came up with something good in 1990, and that was close to a eureka moment, where we thought we had this figured out. It was only half a eureka because it took the realization that the fruit fly clock that we were working on is really identical to what goes on in mammals and humans. And that was a stroke of luck. We didn't even discover that, someone else did. So that made our work, which might have been quite pedestrian or quite idiosyncratic, in other words, not of general significance, it turned out that it really was of general significance. And so it was half a eureka because we didn't really know that it applied to anything but the fruit fly. And so the other half came when these other people discovered this stuff, and then we said, wow, pretty good what we did.
Yeah, and what would you say is something, I think, your groundbreaking research would have some sort of practical application in the future. What do you see that as? What do you think?
Well, I think being able to reinforce circadian, the clock's function, in other words, fixing jet lag, being able to have people who have weak circadian clocks, the elderly, for example, being able to improve this. But those those medicines that could do that are not here yet. But I think they will. I think for us, really, what's been important is the realization that circadian timing is important. Going to bed at the right time, eating regularly, keeping on schedule, and not leading an irregular lifestyle is not very good for physiology. And so we now realize how much of physiology is governed by the circadian clock and how important that is.
And what would you give one last piece of advice, maybe, to a high school student who goes to sleep at around 2 a.m. and has to wake up around 6? What piece of advice would you give them?
Don't stop it. Because